Welcome back. You are watching Digital Trends live from CES 2018. We are day 3 here in Las Vegas. Hey there, I'm Maud Garrett, and we are currently going to be talking tech for DT Daily. To help me out with that, we've got Greg Nibbler and Caleb Dennison. Caleb, hey, so glad to have you back at the table. We missed you yesterday.
I know, I'm so sorry. It was such a hectic drive to get in yesterday. I've never seen it so packed out there.
We know that there's 170,000 people attending
It
CES.
feels like there might even be more, and they're all descending on the Vegas Convention Center all at the same time. And yeah, I just couldn't make it. I missed you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't here, but I'm here now, and that's what matters.
What have you been getting up to? Share the light on what's been going down for your CES.
I've been lurking in.
Not a good choice of words.
No, just sort of, you know, lots of private meetings behind closed doors.
Lurking in private meetings.
Listen, it's all tech related. Okay, it's very clean. Family-oriented fun. No, I've been seeing a lot of really cool tech that they're just not going to be showing on the show floor. It's like the peek into the future of the future.
So this is like the VIP access only that you have to kind of talk your way into what is behind closed doors now that you've got the access.
Well, they want to give us an idea of what we're going to be looking at, you know, 5-6 years down the road.
And that far out.
It is, yeah. Okay. Well, it takes time to get these, once you get a prototype of something, to spool it up and make it a reality and put it in a store or put it into a retail outlet. It takes time, and so, but we got a chance to go back behind the scenes with Sony and LG and Samsung, see what they're working on. Some of it we can talk about, some of it we can't, but yeah, it's super, super fun. I mean, CES alone, you go to the show floor, you're seeing all this amazing futuristic stuff, but there's even more coming. And there is a little bit I can talk about. We can talk about that a little bit later if you want.
Sure thing. Greg, you disappeared for a little bit and you went from tech to mech. Can we talk about that?
Tech to mech, yes I did. So one of the great things, that was a great segue I have to say, but so one of the things that I was doing yesterday and over the last couple of days is going out onto the floor and actually taking a look at a lot of these different booths and checking things out. And we had the guys from Furrion on a couple of days ago. All these days are running together now. I think it was 2 days ago.
Matt and Aaron, yep.
Yep, and the interview's up on the site. And so I actually got to get into the mech. And it was really specific. You have to be a specific size, which works out it worked out well for me that I'm short. So
I'm not jealous at all.
Yeah, and I actually got to crawl up and get into this thing. Almost got stuck. Didn't quite get stuck, but it was pretty amazing.
And that's all covered video content that's going to hit the website?
All video. It's actually up right now. You can see it at digitaltrends.com.
/CES for all the CES content. I'm so excited about that one. Totally jealous. That sounds like a lot of fun. We actually hit the floor. What I love having an early start time is that the floor is open and we explore it with no other people around. So it's just desolate and empty, and we get to kind of have a blast through there.
Yeah.
There was a NASA booth with like an astronaut suit that we had fun with, and there's a pinball machines there. There's so much, but they're like all these robots and robotics. I know that like the future of robots, there are ones for early education and for elderly care that looked a little freaky, if I'm gonna be.
I actually did go talk to those people yesterday.
Yeah, right.
And we have a video up. It is a little freaky when you see like 15 robots all singing in unison with their hands moving, but
that sounds like my nightmare.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Kind of.
Today, though, the Tech Awards are happening. Now, this is a very prestigious thing that Digital Trends does every single year. I want to talk about sort of like the caliber of technology going up. What are some of the awards, and how are these decisions made?
Every year is different. You never know what to expect. I mean, we come in knowing what kind of tech is going to be in our individual sections. You know, for me, that's TV. You know, we've got a home editor. Kim is going to be on here later on. She has her hands cut out for, or her work cut out for her, and her hands totally full because there is so much smart tech happening at this show. But yeah, we go out there and it's a furious pace. We look at everything that we can, get as much information as we can about it, and then we kind of have to debate, okay, what was the coolest thing that we saw? And for individual sections, we have a nice long list of individual sections that we hand out awards for. But then there is the top tech of CES, and everybody comes in with their favorite. It may not necessarily be part of your section. It may be something else that you saw while you're on the show floor. But everybody brings their favorite to the table, and then the debates begin, and we start arguing. And it can be a very short process, or it can take a really, really long time. Didn't take too long this year. It seemed pretty obvious. There was a unanimous decision around it, but in years prior, we have been in that room for like an hour and a half, just going back and forth and back and forth. And when you get a bunch of people who are really passionate about technology going like that, it can get a little heated.
Because how many people are in the room, I mean, that are deciding this?
Well, you know, we have about 9 section editors. We also have an editor-in-chief, and then we have Digital Trends Espanol, you know, and so they're going and seeing stuff that maybe the rest of us aren't. So, you know, you have between 10 or 15 people in there, and then there's like arguing by proxy. Like some people just can't be there, so they're arguing through other editors.
It's like bartering systems that go on.
Yeah, and it kind of depends. Like, did you get the debate team star on your side? Because then your idea may, you know, float a little bit better than others. But it's a ton of fun. This year it was actually pretty easy. It seemed like, yeah, that's the most obvious one. So, you know, we made short work of it this time.
How many awards are there, and what kind of awards are there? Like obviously innovation, design, those sorts of things?
Well, you know, we, because emerging tech, for instance, is like this big umbrella. You know, it could be any kind of new thing coming up in a new space. So we allow for 4 slots for emerging tech. But unlike other websites, we try to make a definitive call for each section. So we have one for video, one for audio, we have one for smart home. VR, you know, almost has its own little segment now because it's, you know, it's kind of taking over. Of course there's cars, automotive tech as well. And you know, we try to take a look at all the little touch points that tech can have in your life, and there's an award for each of those major sections.
I think that's really a good point too, because just at CES, when you walk around, it's almost segmented into these different sections for a lot, because you have robotics, you have a VR section, you have children's tech, you have all kinds of different things that are happening, because tech is such, it touches pretty much everything at this point.
There's
I mean, from automotive, there's really nothing that doesn't really have some form of tech involved in it.
I'll tell you what, the automotive section is a really interesting space right now.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm starting to see all these different things coming together. So we know about autonomous driving, right? And the idea that we're not going to, you know, necessarily be hands-on with the car, it's going to be driving for us. So the question then becomes, well, what do I do while I'm just sitting in that seat? You know, are you going to watch a movie or whatever? But we're also seeing eye tracking devices that can actually tell where you're looking. And, you know, if you happen to eyeball, like it could be a little bit scary, watch where you look. But, you know, if you're eyeballing a certain restaurant or if you express a certain interest in something, then you can get marketed to in your own vehicle now. You know, like if it catches you looking at KFC all the time, the next thing you know, you're going to be getting coupons printed out in your car for a bucket of chicken. Like that, I'm serious, that's the way it can go. But we're also seeing a lot of mobile payment stuff, where if you wanted to order flowers, you know, for your significant other, and you see a flower shop, you can just look at it, say order flowers from there, pay with payment method number 1, and it's done. All through your vehicle, you didn't have to lift a finger, it's all voice.
Well, I think that kind of combines with what we were talking about with the touchless computing as well, as far as, you know, Alexa or Amazon or some of the home assistants, where you could just eventually hold something up and say, order this, or it'll just order it for you, just looking at it, scanning it. You don't have to have a barcode or anything like that. Like, that seems to be where we're kind of heading with all of this.
Actually, yesterday we did talk DT cars, and it was great talking with Alex, who his only job was to explore all the autonomous and electric cars happening at CES, and Toyota has got like almost this giant box that just moves on its own, and you can put whatever you want in it, and it's thinking delivery services, you can move your belongings in it, but it's so funny just to see how we're using vehicles in this day and age. And of course, you know, the one wheel, where it's just one giant wheel that you just ride around on. Bro, I spoke to Kyle, who's the CEO, and he's got this giant beard, and he's like, yeah, I love taking my wheel out, like on the road, the terrain, it's like so cool. And I'm like, yeah. So it's like a lot of fun. There's so many different people here exploring all different types of technology. You did mention really quickly about the LG televisions. Caleb, I do want to explore that because we haven't heard it yet.
Well, so there's LG Display, and then there's LG Electronics. You know, you buy your TV from LG Electronics, or maybe your phone, or what have you. LG Display is the sort of the corporate vertical. They live in Korea, and their job is to make amazing, awesome stuff. And we're seeing some really incredible stuff with transparent OLED, where right now, a great use of that is in their fridge. Like, you walk up to the fridge, and there's just a dark screen. If you knock on it once, it's suddenly a tablet in your fridge. Knock on it a second time, and it goes completely transparent. You can see right through it.
Wow.
And there's all kinds of applications for that sort of thing. But that's something that we saw like 3 years ago. We're like, this is crazy. It's a piece of glass, and now all of a sudden it's a screen. What are you going to do with that? Well, they put it in a fridge. Well, now we're seeing applications of 4K and 8K screens that are touch screens. So let's say you go to the department store to buy makeup. You know, there's a model on the screen. You can actually select the blush, the lipstick, all the different stuff, come up with a color combination that looks great on this model, and then you just go and press a button, and it figures out all the stuff you want and dispenses those products right there and then. Like, they are thinking so far ahead in the future. Of course, we talked about the roll-up OLED that can just disappear entirely, change different shapes. That was another innovation that they had there. They're also taking really big steps with screens that are going into laptops and also for monitors. They're putting actuators on the screen becomes the speaker, right? So if you're gaming and you're sitting in front of this 34-inch widescreen curved monitor, like the speakers, the sound is coming right at you. You are totally in the game. It sounds amazing.
Nerdy to me.
I know.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I'm down for that one. We are live in chat at the moment if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube. A big hello to you. We've got people watching from Florida, Indonesia, DC. It's all happening in Ontario. But I asked them to put some questions out for you guys, and I've got Gareth wanting to know what's some of the cheap tech gadgets to look out for, because I know that, you know, all this future tech, it's like, it sounds amazing, but I can never afford it. What is some of the affordable stuff out there that has piqued your interest? I'll give you a second.
I have one. I actually went and shot this yesterday because, you know, every time I've been out here, I've been talking about, you know, really crazy TVs, 85-inch, 8K. Like, this stuff is very expensive. It's so cool to look at. You can drool over it, but what do you want to actually buy in 2018? And I'm telling you right now, TCL has a television. They call it the 6 series. It's kind of unceremonious, right? But TCL is a Chinese brand that, you know, hasn't had a lot of brand cachet in the US, but they're a serious up-and-comer. Fastest growing TV brand in the US for the last 2 years. They have a television. It's a 55 or 65-inch. The 55-inch, it's 4K, it's HDR, it's got Dolby Vision, it's gorgeous, gorgeous color, it executes really well. It looks like one of the major manufacturers' more expensive TVs, and it's going to sell for around $650 or $700. Like, anybody can get that, you know what I mean? It's like really amazing television that anybody can afford. Now,
What's that one again?
It's TCL.
Yeah, right.
TCL, it's one of those China-based brands that doesn't have a huge name yet, but they're gonna. You know, it's like when LG and Samsung were the up-and-comers back when Panasonic and Sony and Toshiba dominated everything. That's what we're looking at right now. These Chinese-based brands are coming through with really well-made products that are totally affordable. And if there's a huge trend that we're gonna see over the next 3 or 4 years, that's it. Really amazing tech becoming more affordable so that everybody can have it.
I think that's something that we've seen a lot of, you know, this year, especially with the China-based companies, TCL, Huawei,
Hisense.
Yeah, Hisense, huge presences here at CES this year. So we're going to see a lot of that.
Have you seen any affordable tech that you're into?
I mean, for a lot of what I was looking at, it was kind of some of the future stuff that we're going to see come into play down the road. So I saw one yesterday that was a 5D printer, where it's a 3D printer, but then it rotated, and so it was all kinds of different ways that it could print. There's a video that'll come about that, and then the 3D scanning. But one of the cool pieces of tech I saw that's a smaller one was a cell phone case that turned into a drone. And this thing's actually going to be available. So it has a battery pack on it. It's just slightly thicker than a normal cell phone case, but inside of it is actually a drone. You can pop up, fly up, I think it was 50 feet in the air, snap pictures, and then fly it back down and put it right back into your cell phone case. I kind of want one of that. It's totally dorky, and I want it.
Is that the new like selfie stick?
It is, I know, but see, it's a
this
drone.
time, like everybody's gonna have one,
That's how
and you're
you
gonna be at
saw
the
it.
park, and you're just trying to chill, and then this drone comes over your head, and it's like taking pictures of you making out with your girlfriend. That doesn't sound very good to me.
Exactly what I take pictures of.
You're at Disneyland, and you're just trying to ride, you know, Splash Mountain, and somebody's got a drone, you know, flying around.
I love
Okay,
how
I
our
can tell
minds
you
go
don't like it
differently.
already, but-
Well, I thought they'd be a great gift to give someone, and then they put it on their phone, and then you just steal their phone.
Ah, there you go.
Fly it off.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, 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 and you're like, about that. So in the chat, we've got a few people talking about gaming PCs, laptops, because computers as well as television is usually the big talk of CES. Owen Snipes, is there any new gaming PC or laptop news? And Red Jello Maud, are you picking up any pieces and tips for a future PC build? It is maybe not common knowledge around here, but I have not PC gamed for a decade. I got very into it in a very bad way, and I have been clean, but I want to dive back into gaming big time, and being here is not healthy for me, and I'm so excited about it. Yesterday we did talk to a bunch of different brands about their new laptops, and that is all on digitaltrends.com/CES. And I'm excited about Alienware this afternoon as well, because I want to pick and choose what's out there. There are a lot of different things, like with particular laptops. Is it a tablet? It's the 2-in-1. Others are just like big units. They're doing a lot of things with that. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, I guess the main thing is there's so much content happening. If you want to watch everything in a full 8-hour go, if you just want to listen to it in the background and cover everything that happened at CES, we are live on YouTube all day long. Day 1 and day 2 are up on the website right now, digitaltrends.com/CES. And then also on Facebook, we've got a lot of videos happening there, so make sure you're following so you get the notification when we go live. Guys, day 3, what have you got in store today? Where are you off to after this?
I am actually going to be giving tours most of the day.
Yay!
So like things are transitioning for me now. Like I've been all over the floor, I've seen all this great stuff. Now my job is to try and make it digestible in like an hour and 15 minutes. And fortunately, I think the crowds are going to be dying down a little bit because we did a tour the day before yesterday, and we were just like like literally pushing people out of our way, trying to get this line of folks around to see stuff. Now that things are calming down a little bit, you can actually explore the floor and really see things, not from 25 feet away with your cell phone up here like this, going over the heads of the crowd. You can actually get in there and see the tech. I want to look a little bit closer at LG's laundry stuff. They have a robot that like folds your clothes for you.
Greg was saying that this morning.
It's like Laundrobot or something.
Laundrobot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the name is. It's part of their ThinQ system. Like all this stuff connects all together and talks to each other. And they have this amazing like steam closet thing. You just put your clothes in there and it like shakes them around and steams them and comes out like perfectly. This is what I need in my life. I don't want to fold laundry anymore, and I don't want to iron it. Definitely don't want to iron it. Look at my shirt right now. I'm not into ironing. So this is tech that I can really use. It improves my life.
I do get a bit wary when it's like all the things that you're asking, you're asking it to do things for you, and they're doing all the manual labor in the house for you, but they're all talking to each other.
Yeah.
I get so nervous.
It sounds like they're going to revolt.
Yeah. The last thing I ever did was have a steamed shirt, you know what I'm saying?
Suddenly you were being steamed. You know, like the last few Lyft drivers that I've had, all are saying the same thing. They're hearing about this crazy tech from the people that are riding in their cars, and they're like, I'm scared. Like, I feel like Terminator is right around the corner. AI, the mark of the beast, it's all going to end for us soon. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, this stuff, we are, a lot of it is dreaming, but a lot of it is meaningful stuff that makes your life easier. So you can go and do more enriching stuff. This isn't about being lazy. This is about making time for other meaningful stuff in your life. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Greg, get on board.
Or it's about not folding your laundry.
It's
really
all right.
I was more on board with that part of it. I mean, really, that's
I'm
what
trying to sell it.
I know.
I'm trying to sell the dream.
What have you got planned this afternoon, Greg?
Well, we're going to be getting ready for Trends with Benefits coming up this afternoon. So that's our live weekly podcast that we do here at Digital Trends. I've already seen some Caleb fans in the chat. Whiskey Mist fans asking for
the Whiskey
a t-shirt.
Mist. Are they all disappointed at what Whiskey Mist looks like? I've been told, like on the podcast, I sound like Greg Proops, and I don't see it, but that's cool. I hope I'm not disappointing anybody.
No, I think it's going to be good. So we're going to be doing that, a little bit of a roundup on what's happened at CES and kind of what we're looking forward to, some of the odd things that we've seen as we always get into. So that's coming up this afternoon.
Another big day here at CES for Digital Trends. Don't miss a thing. Digitaltrends.com/CES is basically the hub of all the information that has been pouring out. Honestly, press refresh, another 3 articles pop up. It's kind of amazing. But we have a full day ahead, so don't go anywhere.